What if the real reason you've been feeling so drained actually has nothing to do with you? Interesting question. The reason I bring it up is because I just read about Parasites. So Nick actually gets me to just read tons and tons of books. He just drops them on my desk and he says, yo, Mike, read this. And he doesn't actually read any of them.
Yes, he just feeds me these books. That is not true at all. I read it and I'm like, I got to feed my bro some knowledge.
Yeah, okay. You literally say, oh, your brain just, works different.
That's not true. I read that entire book.
Anyway, you drop a textbook on my desk recently.
It's called Seeking Wisdom. It's a phenomenal book.
It really is. And at first I was like, what the hell am I going to do with this textbook? But it's actually amazing. And it's all about evolutionary biology and how the mind works because of evolution. And so I'm reading a part in it about parasites. And my mind is just absolutely blown by what these things do. I've never heard of parasites. Like, I've heard of them, but I never knew how they actually work. So the book goes on to say that a parasite can enter an ant's stomach, and now the ant, it basically is telling the ant through its digestive system, it takes over the ant's mind in a way and gets it to keep climbing up the same blade of grass over and over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. Not because the ant will get any benefit from climbing this blade of grass, but because it knows, like, the parasite's ultimate goal is to be able to reproduce in a sheep's stomach. And so it knows that if it can get the ant to climb to the top of the grass, it increases its chance of a sheep finding the ant, eating the ant and the parasite so that it can then reproduce in the sheep's stomach.
Wow, so it gets manipulated by this parasite.
So it basically takes over your brain, manipulates the crap out of you to do something you don't even know you're doing, just so that it can achieve its ulterior motive.
Wow.
Another example is one called toxoplasma, is another parasite.
Okay.
And what it does is it can only reproduce within cats, okay, this parasite. It gets rats to eat it. And then once it gets in the rat's digestive system, it changes its hormones automatically to give off more of a scent to be captured by cats so that it can reproduce within the cat's stomach. So it literally gets into the rat and makes it die so that it can survive.
It makes it smell different so it can be captured.
Exactly.
That is absolutely wild.
First of all, the fact that that even exists in the universe is just very weird. So that's number one. But then it got me thinking, this is really interesting because I feel like we all have some parasites in our lives. And that's what this episode is really about.
How so, Mike?
Because I feel like there are those people that enter our lives and they only take. They don't do anything but manipulate you into thinking that they're doing good.
Yeah.
But really, all they're doing is
they're energy vampires. They suck you dry.
Just like a parasite.
Yeah. Another good analogy to think about is like your energy is like your cell phone's energy is your cell phone's battery. And these parasites are like those annoying apps that are running in the background of your phone and just draining your battery.
Without you even
realizing it. They're just pulling in information all day long and you're not even using the app.
Yeah. And we need to eliminate the parasites from our lives.
We do. So first we got to get clear on what how to find these parasites. What do they look like?
So I took some time and I started to identify like labels for the different kinds of parasites that I've had in my life.
Yeah.
The number one that comes to mind right away is the jealous one.
The jealous type.
Oh my God. The worst.
Okay.
These are the people who, when they hear you doing well, they're not happy for you.
Mm.
They are not happy for you. The only thing that is going on in their brain is, damn, that makes me feel like shit. And this doesn't even happen consciously, but your accomplishment makes them feel like shit, and they actually wish that you weren't successful.
Mm.
They don't want you to do well because that makes them feel like crap.
Mm.
These people drain the hell out of you. There is no reason to keep these people around you. Mm-hmm. All they do is drain the crap out of you. And I've eliminated many people not eliminated, like that's a very strong word. I've set very clear boundaries and done my best to separate the amount of time that I spend with these kind of people, because they will drain the life out of you.
Yeah.
You don't want to be around jealous.
All right, so jealous type, that's the first one. What else you got?
The complainer. Every time you speak to this person, they don't have anything positive to say. All they want to do is complain about their life, their problems, even your problems. They just want to find the negative in every single situation.
Weather.
Everything.
The weather. It doesn't matter if it's actually good weather.
They can win the lotto and start complaining about the fact that they win the lotto and now everyone's asking them for money. Like that's who we're talking about here. These people are very draining.
Yep. All right. So you got the jealous type, the complainer. You got 2 more here. What else you got?
The manipulator.
Okay.
These are the people who come to you and they're like, yo, I got you courtside Knicks tickets. The next day, they're asking you to do something for them. They're only giving you those courtside Knicks tickets.
They only give to take.
They only give to take. Good way to sum it up. They are only giving to take because they just are trying to manipulate you.
Yeah,
just like
so they're not genuine.
They're not genuine in their kindness. No.
They're giving.
They want something from you, and they only show up when they do want something from you.
I got it. Okay, so you got the jealous type, the complainer, the manipulator, and finally,
this one is probably the worst one. It's the taker. It's basically the person in your life who offers you basically nothing ever and just takes. Every time you meet up with them, they're asking you for something else. Even when you're not with them, they're calling you up, asking you for favors, and never, ever, ever do they offer anything to you. Ever.
Basically, they only show up when they need you.
Exactly. And they never give you anything. So you got the jealous type, the complainer, the manipulator, and the taker.
So these are the parasites that we need to get rid of in our lives. And, you going back to like history, there was the story of the Trojan horse, right? So for people who don't know, the Trojan horse was this big wooden horse that was gifted to this Greek town, right? So they roll in this big wooden horse, but little did they know, inside this wooden horse were these Trojan soldiers. And at night, when everyone went to sleep, the Trojan soldiers broke down the wooden horse and basically attacked from the inside out.
Yep.
And that is what these parasites are like. They literally attack us from the inside out.
Yeah. That great movie, Troy. Have you remember that?
Yeah.
They actually show that in Troy.
Yeah.
Great movie. What's Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt, yeah.
So hot in that movie. So hot. So basically what we're saying is if you lie down with dogs, you're bound to get fleas. You don't want to be around these people because they will drain your energy dry. I wanted science to back this up.
What do you got?
There's a famous study I just found out called the Framingham Heart Study.
Okay.
It tracked thousands of people for over 30 years, and they found something insane. If your close friend becomes obese, your own chances of becoming obese jump by 57%. And here's the kicker. Even if that friend lives in another city, you become the people you surround yourself with. Period. End of story. There is no way around that.
So what do you mean by that? Will they move to another city? You're
like even just being in communication with them.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So even though you're not seeing them every day, if you're speaking to them, staying updated on their life, and kind of sharing stories about what's going on, that influences your behavior.
Right.
I think that is so true. And the best thing you can do is actually, there's that famous line, you become the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? So if we actually did an audit of our life, who are the 5 people we spend the most amount of time with, right? Who's your friend group is another way of saying this. And if you look at your friend group, or if you go out and you look at friends when they're out, they're either all in good shape or they're all fat. And another thing to do is their salaries are probably within the same bracket because like they have aspired to the same amount, right? So basically, if you want to change something drastically in your life, if you want to go from this income bracket to another one, you need to start spending time with people who have a different income. If you want to take your body and go from fat to fit, you need to start spending your time with some fit people.
Oh.
And I think it's so true when you look around your friend group to see how that affects you.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. So let's end this episode with a challenge, a very simple challenge. Do some surgery on yourself. Identify that parasite that is slowly sucking the life out of you. Pick that one person, whether it's the manipulator, the taker, the complainer, the jealous type, and ask yourself, who in my life leaves me weaker rather than stronger? Who in my life is making me less than rather than more than?
And I can already hear people saying, I know who that person is right away, but that person is not someone I can just get rid of.
And we're not saying to.
So what do you say to them?
Boundaries.
Boundaries. That is the key word here. It's be aware of your situation. And if you cannot annihilate this person from your life, right, at least really set yourself boundaries. Maybe you don't speak to them every day. Maybe you have one phone call with them a week. Maybe you don't pick up their phone calls, you call them. And I think getting clear on those boundaries can really help you to maintain your energy and protect it.
Protect your energy.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us.
That concludes this episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you have an awesome day.
Love you.
Peace.
Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end.
If you're new here, we share daily mindset motivation in 10 minutes or less.
So if that's your vibe, hit subscribe or just check out another episode right here.